Тут кто-то стоит, молится.
And watch over his souls of Aetherius, so that the bird may triumph over the serpent, and we may live in a world where champions can love his children once again.
Вальгус. Стой, подожди, Вальгус, стой, 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 Вальгус, стой. Да блин. Да что ты?
Greetings, pilgrim. Do not let me stand in your way. Pray to the stars that your mind be swift and your burdens light. But remember, the steed's blessing will only grant those attributes to the body.
Что это была за молитва?
Just a few words for the souls in the sky that watch over Tamriel. These stones are like a bridge that connects our world to theirs.
Что ты знаешь про эти камни?
Some say the doomstones like these are built from the fragments of stars, much like the Iliad stones of legend. And thus these stones, mage or steed, lover or thief, represent the very provenance of magic. But my apologies for prattling on, stranger, as I've not yet introduced myself. My name is Valgus, a healer who follows the stars.
Откуда ты родом?
I was born in Skingrad, my boy, near the southern border of Cyrodiil.
Местность вокруг Скинграда повидала много боев.
You speak the truth. All my life I've been surrounded by death.
Как ты с этим справлялся?
When I was young, my father told me to kill a man is an easy thing. And during those times it came easy for most. But to heal a man, that was difficult. And that was something all good men should strive for. Sadly, I did not discover the truth of his words until I was stricken by tragedy. Such are the stumbles of youth. We do not heed sage advice, but rather, we allow our mistakes to confirm its wisdom.
Наверное, ты потерял кого-то из близких.
My wife. We had married just before the war began, after the Empire had lost the southern provinces to the Thalmor. Everyone knew the war would come north eventually. I picked up a blade. She opted to forge one. I never thought I would be the one to mourn her. But don't feel sorry for me, my boy. It happened over 30 years ago. More time has passed since her death than she spent among the living.
Что случилось с твоей женой?
My apologies. It's not a story I wish to share this time.
Так, мне нужно... Здесь написано, что я хочу научиться тренироваться в целительстве. А он говорит, что он знатный целитель и сделает для меня лучше, чему научил его отец. Где ты обучался целительству?
Magical talent runs through my family, and I was intent on becoming a soldier. Thankfully, my father was the type to encourage his sons to pursue their goals, even though he quietly disapproved of the pursuit.
Он не хотел, чтобы ты стал солдатом?
He had always looked upon my accomplishments with great pride, but it wasn't until I asked him about restoration that I saw his eyes widen with joy. That's when I saw his eyes light up for the first time. The old man had no idea where he was anymore. I consumed book after book, tome after tome. I outlasted the oil and the lamps, and the wax and the candles. My father wondered if he should have taught me alteration instead. At least then, I could read by mage light.
Насколько хорошо ты знаешь восстановление?
I'll do my best to heal your wounds, as well as my own. I also possess knowledge in wards and stone flesh. Preventing injuries, after all, is far more efficient than healing them.
Какие у тебя еще таланты, кроме магии?
Not many, I'm afraid. When I'm not visiting the camps, I spend most of my time reading. Back in my soldier days, though, I did enjoy a brawl every now and then. Only all wars could be settled with sport.
Теперь, когда ты стал целителем, ты все еще участвуешь в кулачных боях?
On occasion, the warrior is an important constellation. Athletics, competition, all of this is vital to developing the next generation. Matches allow us to cultivate that spirit without resorting to lethal violence. You fight hard and fight clean, and when it's over, you embrace your opponent as an equal.
Что привело тебя в Skyrim?
It was war, my boy. Wherever there are wounded, I will be. I journeyed to the various military camps across Skyrim to offer my assistance. At Lord Us and Sundas, however, you can find me at the Temple of Kinnereth. I offer what I have learned on my travels to the temple healers, so that they may spread the knowledge to others. They say a restoration mage can save more lives by teaching the principles of his craft, rather than practicing them. I aim to do both.
Что ты думаешь об этой войне?
Ulfric suffers from the same disease that afflicts all men of power. Ambition. Greed. In the end, it drove him to murder. I hold him accountable, and those who fight under his banner are victims of his tyranny, fooled into taking arms for an ideal. As such, I seek to heal the wounded, regardless of what color they wear.
Ты лечишь раненых солдат Империи и братьев Бури.
I would, but the Stormcloaks are wary of letting an Imperial, especially a former Legion soldier, tend to their injured. Their actions only weaken their forces, as I'm forced to provide my services to one side of the war.
Что ты думаешь о повторном браке?
I've always been a bit of a romantic, and that is why I'm conflicted. Part of me believes that true love comes once in a lifetime. There is another part of me, however, that believes love is more than childish fancy. That real love is built over time, and time spent together. Lenore was my first love, and in truth, it was a love that had yet to reach full bloom.
Почему это так, по-твоему?
We were married so quickly, as it was the Lord's way. And as a young and compulsive man, I was in no mood to dissent. Sometimes, I wonder if it's the manner in which we departed that is the cause of my attachment, not the time we spent together. When I try to recall those memories, those days when we were happy, it all seems to blend together, like a forgotten dream. Farewell.
Так, теперь надо активировать коня. А, вот где он находится. Здесь он находится. Вот солитьют. Вот статуя Меридии. Вот пещера Волчий череп. Вот форт Хракстад. Тут еще что-то Талморское посольство. Так, активируем знак коня. Чтобы заменить предыдущий знак. Благословенные знаком коня могут нести больше вещей и не теряют скорости из-за веса доспехов. Вы можете выбрать только один знак одновременно. Принять знак. Так вот, знак вора удален. Знак коня добавлен. Посмотрим, как вот это. Вот. Так, теперь перемещаемся к другому знаку. Мне нужен вот этот камень любовника. Но я здесь еще не был. Можно здесь поставить маркер пока. И переместиться вот сюда. Здесь, чтобы здесь взять лошадь. Так, можно по-тихому увести лошадь. Но мне оно, в принципе, не надо. Бенин, кто это? То есть лошадь-то мне нужна, но мне не обязательно делать это тихо. Что ты можешь рассказать от Маркарте? Смотри, не упади. Ты давно занимаешься дрессировкой собак?
I personally trained a whole litter for the Jarl. That reminds me, I was gonna deliver some dog food to the keep. Spiced beef, their favorite.
Я могу доставить это.
Wow, look at you. Thanks. Take it to Volata. She handles all the dogs for the Jarl. Mm-hmm.
Водя ждет посылку, говядина с пряностями. Так, где она там ждет посылку с пряностями? Под каменной крепости. Это у меня не входило в план. Настить. Вот так как оно рядом, то я это сделаю. Так, где он тут есть?
Whatever you need, Dragonborn. Just say the word.
Ой. Да блин. Вот оно.
I have to work, or Anton will rip my head off.
Have you come to taste my potions and ingredients?
I have meals to cook for the entire castle, and almost no help.
Yes.
Хрена тут сколько можно квестов, кажется, взять, набрать.
Don't mind the dogs. They get anxious when they haven't had dinner.
Я выполняю поручение по доставке. Отправитель Пеннинг.
Oh, thank you. The dogs were getting restless. Here, this is for you.
О, 600 септимов. Неплохо.
Yeah,
Ну, что-то
You
может
should talk to
нечто
Anton.
найти.
Sure looks like he's
He's
from
the
the
master
reach.
chef.
Don't tell him that.
Yes.
Антон, кто такой Антон? Кларио Мурсли.
It's been a hard day cleaning. Good honest work, I say.
А ну вот этот повар, то есть Антон Веран.
Before you say anything, no, I am not from the Reach.
Ты не из предела.
No, I'm a Breton from High Rock, and I refuse to be mistaken for a filthy native. I don't care if we share the same ancestors. These people are savages. Half of them are forsworn barbarians. And have you seen what they eat? What have I done for the gods to take me so far from my beloved Daggerfall?
Ты из Даггерфола.
Yes, the finest court in all of High Rock. You think politics here or something? Well, we Bretons invented politics. That is where I learned to cook, and where I belong. Not here with all these dogs.
Ну и что тут?
Until next time.
Have you
Speak.
come to taste my potions and ingredients?
All right.
А, да, интересно,
Something.
что у него есть на продажу.
Take a look.
Одна еда. Блин, у него одна еда.
Until next
Такое
time.
то, что Кларио Мурсли.
Ah, another adventurer. You must be here seeking to sample my culinary potions. They are known throughout Tamriel as the first potions capable of healing the body while delighting the palate.
Зелье не еда. Дайте 20. Кулинарные зелья?
So you are unfamiliar with my work? How uncultured of you. My name is Clario Murсли, the finest
Повар
alchemical
алхимик.
in all of Tamriel.
Если я принесу тебе необходимые ингредиенты, можешь сделать еще.
The recipes at my shop in High Rock, I'm afraid. Although the truth is, I can't be bothered with the practice any longer. You see, I have already moved on to the next frontier, cooking with magic.
Мне бы хотелось побольше узнать о кулинарной магии.
I am experimenting with magic as a culinary tool. I had begun with restoration in an attempt to remove the unwanted side effects from my earlier work. I have abandoned that practice to focus on the effects of illusion magic and how it can influence one's sense of taste. You see, every person has a different palate, and this means a different experience, regardless of whether one eats the same food. Sating one's palate is not just a product of how a meal tastes, but how the mind perceives an object's flavor.
Приведи пример.
Well, my latest dish combines the alchemical properties of creep clusters and giant toe as additives in foods heavy with starch. The result is a lighter, fluffier bread and potatoes that melt in your mouth. The dilemma is getting patrons to try something cooked with the toenail clippings of one of those primitive ogres. If the courage spell could be activated by the aroma of a dish, it could deflect any fears rooted in perception.
Другими словами, ты используешь магию иллюзий, чтобы скрыть свои недоработки.
That is not what I meant. You are being reductive. The illusion I speak of is subtle. It is necessary to assuage a patron's fear of new cuisine. I believe that their fear will influence the flavor. If the contents remain mysterious, they would lick the plate clean.
Честно говоря, не понимаю, зачем тебе говорить людям, из чего приготовлены твои блюда.
Then how will anyone know of my genius? They will think me a simple cook. The very thought pains me deeply.
Почему ты тут в Маркерте?
I came because I heard a rumor that the Jarl's chef was a friend of the gourmet. I wished for him to set up a culinary duel where I would be declared once and for all the finest chef in all of Tamriel. But the fool wouldn't even acknowledge his relationship with the impostor. Naturally, I took this as a sign of his surrender.
Ты мог бы вызвать гурмана напрямую, но не думаю, что он бы ответил.
I suspect not. I simply hope he does not cower away and retire. It will be much harder to topple the myth of his potage than the actual dish.
Меня заинтересовала эта твоя алхимическая кухня.
Ask questions if you must, but I suggest you read the book that I have left in the chef's quarters. It is quite thorough. Although at times I admit it is far too didactic. It does not capture the spirit of my invention, for I am an artist, an auteur. Well, unlike some of my more unadventurous peers, my cuisine is the product of my creative vision. It pushes the boundaries of what is food. This is not to say my creations are merely limited to sating the appetite. While Julianos blessed me with wisdom, Stendar has gifted me with mercy. That is what led me to developing the world's first delectable health potion. Good for the body, pleasing to the palate.
Неплохое начало, зельем нужно больше аромата.
Ah, at last. Someone who recognizes my genius. The soldiers here mock me. They tell me my potion couldn't heal a shaving nick. I'll have you know, I tested it myself, and I assure you that after 3 drinks, your skin will be as smooth as vintage wine.
Зелья и напитки предназначаются для разных целей, смешай их и не добьешься ничего.
Is food not eaten for both joy and sustenance? By your logic, any cuisine must be one or the other. If anything, I am more worried about the side effects than the actual potency of the potions.
У зелий есть побочные эффекты.
You must understand, the art of cooking is a very delicate process. The recipe, the quality of ingredients, and the skill of the chef all affect the end product.
Как так?
If one were to mix a restore potion out of wheat and blue mountain flour, he may be tempted to mix in a piece of honeycomb to sweeten the taste. The result might be a health potion that simultaneously ravages his stamina.
Между незначительными побочными эффектами и тем, что ты описываешь, есть большая разница.
Perhaps. I know of mages who add a little extra moon sugar to their magica potions for flavor. Yet, when they drink said potion, their enemies double in number and grow fangs that touch the floor. But that is a risk we must take. Taste is paramount. That is my duty as chef.
Ты не похож ни на алхимика, ни на мага.
Nor do I look like a cook, for I'm far too handsome to be any of the three. But you are right. I do not have the training in this field.
Так как же ты готовишь с магией?
My assistant, Miley Hawking, handles such matters. She is also a writer and publishes my various recipes in culinary musings. I regret she was unable to accompany me on this trip, as one of my dishes had some unwanted consequences which I do not wish to speak of. I regret she was unable to accompany me on this trip, as one of my dishes had some unwanted consequences which I do not wish to speak of. Let us just say, I will not cast aspersions on her husband if he leaves her for another woman. Or something that at least resembles one. It is not my fault, mind you. Miley is quite devoted to my cause, and at times she will sample things that are purely experimental in nature.
У меня больше нет вопросов.
Then, if you'll excuse me, I must work on my next recipe. It involves conjured ingredients which enhance a dish as it is being cooked, but can damage flavor if left in the final meal. It is merely a theory, mind you. I will need to speak with Miley to learn if that is even feasible.
Так, он сказал, что в комнате мага есть какая-то книга. Я думал, что он меня научит чего-нибудь там. Даст мне какой-нибудь урок алхимии. Так, это не его комната. Это не комната этого.
Don't mind the dogs. They get anxious when they haven't had dinner.
Yes, yes, I haven't got all day.
А это
I have
кто
to
Ронда?
work, or Anton will rip my head off.
Need something?
Просто уборщик. А вон, наверное, эта книга. Но я ее уже читал. А, нет, не читал. Ступка, перстик и горшок. Ха. Какая-то книга мошенника, мне кажется.
Anton sure looks like he's from the Reach. Don't tell him that.
Так, теперь надо переместиться к конюшням. Не понял. А, братья Бои с этими начали драться. Блин, меня вонзили стрелу. Блин, разбежались все лошади. А. Стой, лошадь. Добавлено. Штраф, ладно. Хрен с ним, добавлен, так добавлен.
By order of the Jarl, stop right there.
Может, я тебя отблагодарю?
Since you put it that way, I think we can overlook your crime for now.
Это прокачивает красноречие. Ферма Салвиев. Дракон летает. И что, блин? Тигр. Ну, где там мои эти-то? Ну, блин, задрал лошадь, сволочь. Где он там лазит? Так вот теперь. Шкура тоже пригодится. Ой. Теперь, прежде чем активировать этот камень, нужно надеть эту корону. Вот, коснувшись стоящего камня и получив новый знак, вы сохраняете способность, полученную от предыдущего камня. Благословленные знаком любовника всегда чувствуют себя любимыми. Все навыки растут быстрее. Вы можете выбрать только один знак одновременно. Но это почему-то это так написано здесь. Сейчас вот знак коня удален, но потом он добавится. Вот, знак любовника добавлено. Вот знак коня опять добавлено. Вот он знак коня, вот он знак любовника. Оба активные. Вот, в общем-то, все, что я сегодня хотел показать. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, если еще не подписаны. Пишите комментарии. Поделитесь этим видео в соцсетях, чтобы побольше людей узнало о такой классной игре, как Skyrim. Пока.
Our hero